Welcome into Sports Talk at the Stadium. Kevin McCrary here at Death Valley, actually in one of the suites because the sunlight's really bright out there. It's setting, and you're not going to get your view of Death Valley, but trust me, it's right there in front of me. I'm sitting in one of the President's suites where some fans watched a game that they weren't expecting to see today with Clemson and Troy. They thought it was going to be a blowout. It was a 35-point spread. Clemson ended up winning by only 6. So there isn't any way to put a rose on this and make it look pretty from Clemson's standpoint. This is a game where they sputtered around offensively. You forgive Clemson for struggling a bit on offense at Auburn in the opener. Okay, there's no shame in that game. Coming home against Troy, you expect something better than what we saw today. Now, let's give Troy a little bit of credit. That is a bowl team. That's a pretty good football team, no question about it. They have some good ball players. Vic Koenning, a former Dabo assistant, former Clemson defensive coordinator, he brought it to help that defense give Clemson some problems. All that said, Clemson's got to do better offensively than they did today. 3 turnovers. Deshaun Watson looked like an ordinary player, which was bizarre to see. Just mental mistakes that you can't have. Ray McCloud dropped. Their timing is off a tad, and I apologize for some technical timing's off a little bit here in the press box with the internet. So apologies there for the in and out, but things have just been a little haywire for Clemson's offense in terms of their rhythm and their timing. I think they're going to get that solved. I don't think those are things they won't figure out. Watson's too good. They have too many playmakers out there. We've seen what Mike Williams can do. We know what Artavis Scott can do, and Deion Kane, Ray McCloud, despite that goof on the punt return, he was a leading receiver in terms of catches. So I think they're going to be okay. Wayne Gallman didn't do much of anything today, just had 9 carries. They're going to be okay at the end of the day, but they got to figure this thing out because if they have performances like that against some of the teams that they're going to face this season, it's not going to be good for them. They're going to face better teams than Troy, as we all know, and they're going to face better teams than Auburn, as we all know. So they're going to have to get that straight. Now, on the plus side, defensively, I think Clemson has exceeded all expectations in the first couple of games. I know they gave up the big 66-yard play in the first half that went for a touchdown. Troy did move the ball a little bit late, but the 3 interceptions, I mean, they really bailed the offense out at times when they had to. They made plays when they had to. I really like what the Clemson defense is doing right now with Brent Venables and that aggressive approach, and they're still getting those tackles for a loss, which has kind of been their bread and butter. So I think they're going to be okay there. But they do have to get things going offensively. They get another layup. No disrespect to Buddy Pugh and the South Carolina State Bulldogs, but they're going to get beat down bad next week. I think a lot of frustration will be taken out of them, and I think that'll be a good opportunity for Clemson to find itself, find some rhythm, and give the fans here something to cheer about. I'm telling you, there were boos in the Death Valley crowd today. Not a chorus of them. They weren't raining down. Just frustration from Clemson fans that thought they were going to see something different. They ended up having to wanted Clemson and that it should have been if you're Clemson. So the takeaway here before my internet drops again is, yes, bad performance by the Clemson offense. Are they concerned? Yes. There were some concerned faces there from the coaching staff. Not the kind of concern that they don't think they can fix it. I mean, there's a difference between concern and panic. They do feel like they can fix it. They do feel like they're going to be better, and the talent would indicate they would be correct there. They're not going to digress from this point, and I don't think they're going to stay where they are right now. I think Clemson, I'm very confident that Clemson offensively will get much better, and if they can maintain and build on what they're doing defensively, if this is their foundation, they can build on that, then look out. I do think that they'll have a chance to be the team that we all thought they could be. But today we saw that Clemson and if Clemson doesn't work out some of those kinks, then yeah, they're looking at some trouble on down the slate. You can check out what Dabo Swinney had to say. Good stuff from him talking about the mistakes that they made, the drop passes, and the other things that need to be cleaned up. Deshaun Watson and his level of frustration. Tony Elliott as well there on our story. So check all that out. Appreciate you checking us out here at Sports Talk at the Stadium. And next week, I actually get my first South Carolina game. So I have South Carolina and East Carolina, the Pirates getting a win over NC State today. That's not going to be an easy one for the Gamecocks, but still plenty more coverage coming up from this game. We'll have the Sunday calls and more recaps Monday on Sports Talk. And then it's off to week 3 of the college football season. Appreciate you checking us out here at Sports Talk at the Stadium from Death Valley, where Clemson knocked off Troy.